Hello, this is Cinnabon18, and these are my final Oscar predictions, as well as my thoughts on who should win and will win. Just a disclaimer, I have not seen any of the shorts, and I have not seen a good portion of the foreign language nominees or any of the documentary ones. And I still haven't seen Minari yet, because unfortunately, it is still $20 to rent, and I refuse. I will pay $20 to buy it, but not $20 to rent it. Anyways, the nominees for live action short are The Letter Room, Feeling Through, The Present, White Eye, and Two Distant Strangers. As far as should win and will win, I probably shouldn't comment on this, but on should win. So most likely, from what I hear, I'm just going to say will win on this one. The Letter Room, I had it winning last time, but I think it's going to be Two Distant Strangers. Two Distant Strangers is on Netflix. It's accessible. It's about a very topical issue. Yes, The Letter Room does have a star, but Two Distant Strangers has accessibility and a topical issue. So I think Two Distant Strangers will win. Documentary short, Do Not Split, Hunger Word, Concerto for a Conversation, Colette, and a love song for Latasha. I think most likely this will be a love song for Natasha, or for Latasha will win. I've heard great things about Colette as well, and heard great things about a Concerto for a Conversation. But one thing I've noticed with the Academy Awards, with the shorts, it doesn't seem like a lot of people would really watch them, and some may do, and some will probably vote for which one is their favorite. But most people, they're like, I'm not going to spend 3 hours watching all these shorts. This one has a good title. I'm going to pick this one. I'm thinking of the minds of Oscar voters who just can't be bothered. So that's why I say a love song for Latasha will win, because it's got that title. Animated short, Yes People, Opera, Genius Loci, Burrow, and If Anything Happens, I Love You. If Anything Happens, I Love You will win this, I believe, and that's what I have predicted. And I think Should is probably going to be between Burrow, which is a Disney short, and If Anything Happens, I Love You. Granted, I have not seen them, but that is my guess as to who will win. For foreign language film, there's Better Days, The Man Who Sold His Skin, Collective, Que Vadas Adi, and Another Round. Sorry for the bad pronunciation on the Que Vadas Ada or ID. Apologies. This is going, Another Round will win this and should win this. It should have been in Best Picture. From what I hear, Que Vadas Ada any other year would have been amazing, and Collective, well, it's in another category, so I hear they're both really good, and I'm sure the other two films are great as well. But Another Round should win this. It should have been in Best Picture and a couple other categories as well. For documentary feature, we have The Mole Agent, Crip Camp, Time, Collective, and My Octopus Teacher. This race used to not be as close as it. This race used to be wide open. It wasn't really close. It was just wide open. Nobody knew who was going to win until My Octopus Teacher started winning everywhere. Time was the one that had a lot of people talking about. Before the season, people were like, oh, Dick Johnson Is Dead is going to win. This season, I think it's going to be My Octopus Teacher that wins. And Collective, I think, is number 2 because it is nominated in foreign language. For animated feature, we have Shaun the Sheep, Farmageddon, Over the Moon, Wolfwalkers, Onward, and Soul. Soul will win and should win this. I hear great things about Wolfwalkers, But I also, the other one that I personally like better than Soul, just by a hair, is Onward. I personally think Onward should win this, but I think they both should be up there. But I'd give the slight edge to should win to Onward. But Soul's going to win, and it's a deserved win, so it also should as well. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Onward, but Soul will win this. Now, visual effects, we have Love and Monsters, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, Tenet, and The Midnight Sky. With this year's race, 2018 is a year that really looms over me. Again, with the Love Song for Latasha, it was another film with a name that really popped out, that one documentary short. And this 2018 is on my mind a lot with this year in many ways, which I will explain later. But this way is First Man won over Avengers Infinity War, which has amazing visual effects. There's a space movie that's more of a Oscar film, even though it was a failed Oscar film, which so was First Man, even though it was a better film. I think Midnight Sky is going to win this year. I think it's going to take out Tenet. There's other factors with Tenet. They're both kind of not very well liked by certain members of the Academy. But I think Midnight Sky is going to win this. For one, it won Visual Effects Society. And two, the Avengers Endgame First Man comparison. Space movies do very well, unless it's a blockbuster space movie. So, should win is Tenet, will win Midnight Sky. But again, they're very close. For sound, we have News of the World, Greyhound, Soul, Mank, and Sound of Metal. For should win, I love Mank and Sound of Metal, but Sound of Metal should win this, and Sound of Metal will win this. I would be shocked if it didn't. Mank, I love what they did with the audio, but Sound of Metal, it's all about the sound in this movie, and I think this is its best shot at an Oscar, and maybe its only one. I think the Academy is going to want to be very even with awarding its Oscars for the Best Picture nominees, just like it was in 2008. Yes, some films got quite a bit of wins, which somehow in 2018, Bohemian Rhapsody got 4 wins. It won all its nominations except for Best Picture. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but what I think is going to happen, every single film nominated for Best Picture, which there was 8, like there is this year, got at least 1 win. BlacKkKlansman got a single screenplay win. The Favorite surprisingly won Best Actress. Bohemian Rhapsody, like I said, got 4 wins. Black Panther got 3. Green Book won Picture, Screenplay, and Supporting Actor. Roma won Best Director and Best Foreign Language Film, as well as Cinematography. I don't believe it won Editing. Yeah, because Bohemian Rhapsody won Editing. Star is Born won Song. And Vice won Makeup. So, I believe this year is going to be a similar year where every single nominee for Best Picture wins at least 1 Oscar. So, which means if it loses somewhere where I think it's going to win, I think certain films are going to win over, which again I will get to later. And I believe this is Sound of Metal's chance. Best chance at one. For song, we have Hear My Voice from Trial of Chicago 7, Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah, EOC from The Life Ahead, Husavik from Eurovision, and Speak Now for One Night in Miami. Should win. I didn't really care for any of these songs. The one that actually had a good part in the movie was Husavik, which that is one of the 2 movies that I've not seen. I think Husavik should win this, but because the song is, from what I can tell, very funny and worth it. It should have been Borat 2, but that wasn't nominated. Should have been Wuhan Flu from Borat 2, because that song was hilarious. But I think will win is either Speak Now or EOC. Diane Warren has not won an Oscar. Yes, they may want to give it to Leslie Odom Jr., but I think he will have more of an opportunity. And I am fully expecting to be wrong, but because part of the reason I'm predicting EOC to win, which EOC will win, but I think Speak Now could win it. And I think Speak Now or Leslie Odom Jr. will have chances in the future to win. And Diane Warren may as well, but I think there's nothing that really stands out. And Husavik could surprise here. But I think EOC will win, but it could be Speak Now or Husavik. This is not an open and shut case. For score, we have Da 5 Bloods, Sound of Metal, Minari, Mank, and Soul. This is the award that Nine Inch Nails is going to win. Whether it be Mank or Soul, I think should win is either Mank or Soul. Will win is going to be Soul, because they're going to want to give it to John Batiste as well. And Soul had a great score. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, again, aka Nine Inch Nails, I think is going to win this award. And I think it's going to be with John Batiste for Soul. Best Production Design, we have Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Tenet, The Father, News of the World, and Mank. Mank had 11 nominations. I think this is the one where it is going to win. But I do not think it should win here. I think what should win is The Father. I think this is Mank's best chance at a win, which if The Father ends up winning this, I think, well, that would be good and it would be much deserved. But I think Mank could potentially win somewhere else. If, again, the rule of all 8 Best Picture nominees winning something somewhere here. But I think it will be Mank, but it should be The Father, and honestly could be The Father. Because the production design, I say, was the best supporting performance of the year for that film. For costumes, we have, I believe this is costumes. No, it's makeup, sorry. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Hillbilly Elegy, Mank, Emma, and Pinocchio. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom will win this. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom should win this. For Best Film Editing, we have Trial of the Chicago 7, Sound of Metal, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, and The Father. All of these nominees are great. I was predicting Sound of Metal for a long time in this category. But I think Trial of the Chicago 7, I think this will be the award that it wins, which was the front runner for a while. And I think Promising Young Woman should win this, but honestly, they all should win this. I just love Promising Young Woman, and I liked its editing. Also, The Father had really good editing. The one that I'd say is maybe not as good is maybe Nomadland. But even then, all the editing in these movies were amazing. They all deserve this. But I would say will win is Trial of the Chicago 7, and should win is Promising Young Woman. For costumes, we have Pinocchio, Mulan, Emma, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Mank. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom will win this, and I believe it should win. Honestly, I'm not a big costumes guy, which I guess you could probably tell that looking at me. But yeah, I think Ma Rainey's Black Bottom will probably win this. It had great costumes and makeup, and I think this will be its second win of the night for a film that wasn't nominated for Best Picture. This could be the most awarded film of the Oscar night. This is for Best Cinematography. we have Nomadland, Mank, News of the World, Judas and the Black Messiah, and Trial of the Chicago 7. I'm really not sure what to pick here. The ASC, which if you watched my video on that and you based your predictions off of me, sorry, I did not get a single prediction right. I'm still picking Nomadland to win this, and I think Nomadland probably should win this, but it's probably going to be Mank, but I'm just too stubborn to change my prediction to Mank, because again, if Mank wins this, it doesn't necessarily, I don't think it will necessarily win the previous award where I said it was going to win a production design, but I think it most likely will. And if The Father wins production design, then I would change my prediction of another category, which it would already be too late by Gold Derby standards, but my Gold Derby could be a complete mess if things go a certain way. For original screenplay, we have Judas and the Black Messiah, Sound of Metal, Minari, Trial of the Chicago 7, and Promising Young Woman. Promising Young Woman should win this, will win this. Please don't take it, Trial of the Chicago 7. You'll have your editing award. Sorkin, you have your Oscar. Emerald Fennell needs this. I don't think she's going to win other awards, or another award at least. Promising Young Woman needs this. It was the best screenplay of the year, in my opinion, of the best movie of the year. Adapted, we have White Tiger, One Night in Miami, Borat's subsequent movie film, Nomadland, and The Father. This is where it gets tricky. I was originally thinking about predicting Nomadland in the top 3 categories, because I'm like, oh, it's most likely going to win 2 of them, but it might miss out on 1. And I'm like, the one it's most likely going to miss out on is adapted screenplay. But how I'm thinking of each of the Best Picture nominees winning at least one thing, I think this might be the Father's best chance. It was well liked by BAFTA, which of course it's a British film, and the screenplay of Nomadland wasn't necessarily an amazing screenplay. Other parts of the film were much better, and it could end up being Borat, but I think should win is The Father, will win is The Father, but it would not surprise me if Nomadland ends up winning this. There are better odds on Nomadland, but part of the reason I'm picking this is because I'm still going to go with each of them getting one nomination, because I think they loved all the movies this year, and I think The Father will be the one that takes adapted screenplay. For supporting actor, Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Sacha Baron Cohen, Trial of the Chicago 7, Paul Raci, Sound of Metal, and Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah. I think this will go to Daniel Kaluuya. He has swept everywhere. I'm like, the only thing I could think of is a split between votes, which people really do not think that's going to happen. I honestly don't think it's going to happen, but this is the only place where the 2 stars of Judas and the Black Messiah could potentially split the vote. But I'm going to go with Kaluuya winning this. Will win, should win, is Paul Raci, Sound of Metal. Because he was a supporting performance for one, and a great performance. For supporting actors, we have Olivia Colman, The Father, Yoo Young-jun, sorry about the pronunciation, for Minari, Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy, Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film, and Amanda Seyfried for Mank. I believe Yoo Young-jun will win this. Again, sorry for the pronunciation for anybody who's watching this. I do not have very good dialect. I believe she will win this. I have not seen the movie, so I can't go so far as to say she should win this. At the beginning of the year, I was thinking that it would be Glenn Close. Then for a second there, I switched it to Maria Bakalova. And now I'm thinking Yoo Jung-yoon. Hey, I think I said it right this time, I hope. But should win. I'd have to go with Olivia Colman. She's the one performance that kind of stood out, and I love Olivia Colman. She's the best. But will win Yu Jung-yoon. This became a pretty clear race that was neck and neck there for a while. For actor, we have Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Steven Yeun for Minari, Gary Oldman for Mank, Riz Ahmed for The Sound of Metal, and Anthony Hopkins for The Father. If, for some reason, The Father loses every award up until this point, it's very possible that Anthony Hopkins could take this, but I just can't do it in my heart to take out Chadwick Boseman and put in Anthony Hopkins. Because I can explain off the BAFTAs as being a British thing, but some of these predictions and ballots are kind of making me nervous. I think it will be Chadwick Boseman, but it could very well be Anthony Hopkins. If for some reason there's a chance that Ma Rainey's Black Bottom could win 3 Oscars and Chadwick's not one of them, that would be heartbreaking. But Anthony Hopkins was great, and so is Riz Ahmed. So, will win and should win are going to be the same. And I'm going to go with a tie. Here's my thought. There hasn't been a tie in 9 years, but people really love Chadwick and people really love Anthony Hopkins. There's been a tie in an acting category before, and that was with Katharine Hepburn and Barbra Streisand. I believe I said the right Hepburn. And actually it might have been Audrey Hepburn. It's one of the Hepburns and Barbra Streisand. In 1969, they tied and both won the award for Best Actress. I think they should tie. If Riz Ahmed would somehow be in there, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Riz Ahmed has a long career ahead of him. This is probably going to be the last time both of these guys are nominated. I think they both should win, and both will win, even though the chances of this happening are slim. It could happen, and if it happens, I'm on the record saying I think there will be a tie. For actress, we have Andra Day for The United States vs. Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman, and Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. This award has been one of the most hectic all season. I think that Carey Mulligan should win, will win. Viola Davis has basically nobody has given it to the precursors. Golden Globe went to Andra Day. Critics' Choice went to Carey Mulligan. SAG went to Viola Davis. And BAFTA went to Nomadland. Granted, it was only Frances McDormand and Andra Day Frances McDormand and Viola Davis who were Vanessa Kirby who were nominated. I think it's very possible Vanessa Kirby could win here. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be the weirdest situation ever if it was a 5-way split between all the precursors and the Oscars. For a while, I was thinking Andra Day was 2, but now I'm thinking Viola is number 2. But I do think that the SAG Awards love Viola Davis. They have for years. So I'm thinking Viola is just a SAG thing in the same way that Hopkins is a BAFTA thing. So I'm still predicting Carey Mulligan as a will win and a should win. But Viola could take it. And if somehow Viola wins and Chadwick doesn't, that would be sad to me. But I think Viola, she had a great performance. I think she was supporting. And I think she should have won supporting. Because she would have been the clear front-runner winner. Even though her name is in the title, yes, she doesn't have that much screen time. I think Carey Mulligan should win and will win this. For director, we have Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman, and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. Chloe Zhao will win this. As far as who should, I loved Promising Young Woman, but Chloe Zhao deserves this. She does. I'd say if anybody is actually second as far as deserving that I've seen, it's probably Thomas Vinterberg. Granted, I loved Emerald Fennell's direction in Promising Young Woman, but I would put that as my personal should win. But Chloe Zhao should win this. But I personally preferred Emerald Fennell or Vinterberg more. But Chloe Zhao should win this and will win this. I know it's hard to differentiate my personal opinion and what should win. I know there's not really much of a difference, but to me, there's a slight difference. For picture, we have Mank, Judas and the Black Messiah, The Father, Sound of Metal, Trial of Chicago 7, Minari, Nomadland, and Promising Young Woman. For a little while there, I was predicting Promising Young Woman to win because I'm like, oh, people will love this movie. It has a chance to win. It could get screenplay, actress, and picture, just like in 2018. But this is the one way I'm going to differentiate between 2018 and here. I think it will be Nomadland. It should be Promising Young Woman. But I don't think this is as open and shut as people think. I think director is open and shut. But I think Minari could... I have Promising Young Woman at number 2. But I think it's very possible Minari could be rising. It's possible Sound of Metal could be rising. It's possible that Trial could win because of its SAG. The Father is rising. The two that I don't think are going to win are Judas and the Black Messiah, which was rising for a little bit, but it was really only rising in hype for Daniel Kaluuya. And then I don't think Mank's going to win, which a lot of people had predicted it as the winner since before it came out. But I think it will be Nomadland and should be Promising Young Woman. Let me know what you thought of this race down below. I personally think this race is one of the best in years. I personally think 2019, all those films were amazing. I like those films better than this year's films. But there was not a single film that I really was like, oh, none of these are bad this year, similar to last year. The past 2 years for Oscars have been some of the greatest, especially since this year, you think, pandemic, not much coming out. These films were all great. At the very least, great. Mank is on the close to being not great, but it's still great. I think Nomadland is a deserving Best Picture winner. But I could see it. I could see something else taking it. This time last year, well, technically it was probably 14 months ago, I was saying Parasite just won Best Picture. I hear great things about Minari. I think Minari is going to win Best Picture. Now, I will be very upset if I don't watch Minari and it ends up winning Best Picture, because that's just one of my things. I think Minari could win it, because again, I predicted that last year. I was like, oh, Minari will win. Minari's going to win. It's going to come up and it's going to rise and it's going to win. But it's hard to go against Nomadland right now. But there's also, I hate to bring up past Oscar years. Actually, I don't hate it, but I'm sorry if you get tired of it. La La Land won everywhere. La La Land won everywhere except for the Oscar, which Moonlight won. I think it's possible we could be in for a surprise, but I think it could also be possible that Nomadland ends up winning it, and Nomadland would be a deserving winner. But to be honest, I don't know, and I'm excited to see what wins. And I'd be very excited if Promising Young Woman won, because it would be the first time that my favorite film of that year, even of the Oscar-nominated films, would win. Since, like, Return of the King. Or since before there was 10 nominees. So, we'll see when it comes Sunday night. Thank you for watching. Please comment your thoughts on the Oscar race down below. And if you could give this video a like, it helps YouTube share this video more and show it to more people. And subscribe if you enjoyed my content. Thank you for watching. And enjoy the Oscar race. Enjoy the Oscars. Thank you.